Soviet Union 1917 to 1964. Red Terror and Economic Policies. Lenin. Red Terror. This justified war-class fare against bourgeoisie forces who were real and sometimes assumed enemies. This began in August 1918 with the assassination attempt on Lenin by an SR revolutionary. The Cheka, as a result, rounded up and tortured suspects. By September, 500 socialist revolutionaries and Mensheviks were shot in Petrograd. The Cheka agents wanted to prove revolutionary zeal and therefore started to discover hidden opposition as well as open opposition. People from all kinds of backgrounds were suspected as being counter-revolutionary. They were branded as class enemies, and this justified violence against them. Between 1918 and 1921, 500,000 to 1 million people were shot. Others were tortured or sent to concentration camps. The Land Decree of October 1917. The peasant had started to hoard their grain, which meant high inflation started, which then led to more hoarding of grain. The Vajenka. This was a group that would coordinate the workers and give the state some control over the economy. The Workers' Control Decree of November 1917. The workers had unfortunately failed to organize themselves properly after this was issued, and they started giving themselves really unsustainable pay rises that they just did not keep up with, and they had literally no idea how to control a factory. War Communism. In spring of 1918, the government started requisitioning grain from the countryside. The kulaks had everything taken from them, and they were called an enemy of the state. However, poorer peasants had only some stuff taken from them. The Cheka was employed to find opposition. Grain was often hidden and peasants started to grow less crops. Collective farming was encouraged, but only 60,000 worked in collectives by 1921. By this time, major industries were nationalized, which means they had been taken over by the state. The first industry had been sugar. Old Tsarist officials had been put in charge of these nationalized industries, which is really ironic, seeing as they're also kind of class enemies. But there you go.